Welcome to Into the Desert, where we'll be having conversations about relevant issues with respect and without finger pointing. If you'd like to join the conversation, please fill out your comments below, but remember to keep it respectful. We would like to foster conversation and not division. The political spectrum. Convention sees the political spectrum as the polarization of two extremes, fascism and communism, with democracy in the middle. Given the political spectrum is an artificial construct in many respects, there is nothing inherently wrong with it, at least as long as it remains a construct. The problem comes when you try to take this and map it to real-world politics. The governments of fascist Italy and Nazi Germany go on the right. The Soviet Union and Communist China are on the left. The democracies go in the middle. So far, so good. In a broad sense, this works, but it is also arbitrary and tells us little. It is also a major source of the demonization and polarization so prevalent today. Is there a better way to understand the spectrum that can avoid some of these problems? Fortunately, there is. The terms left and right have their origin in the French Revolution, where the National Assembly split. Those who supported the king sat on the right, those who supported the revolutionists sat on the left. Nice and clear. Still, what does that mean nearly 250 years later, and for countries outside of France? It is possible to trace these movements' development since then up to modern times. Both sides have changed and developed over the years. The right no longer supports the kings, and the left is no longer synonymous with revolution, particularly when they are in power. Over the last 250 years, liberty and equality have become key features of both the right and the left, but not to the same degree. Liberty and equality are mutually exclusive. The more you get of one, the less you will have of the other. This is because, given the liberty to make choices, not everyone will make the same choice. Some choices will be better, or perhaps just luckier than others, and thus, inequality will result over time. The only way to preserve equality is to limit liberty. Since the French Revolution supporters sat on the left of the chamber, and the French revolutionists tended to support equality, the left has historically supported equality over liberty. Those who supported liberty over equality have gravitated to the right. There are three key aspects here. The first is neither of these is an absolute. It is not that the right rejects equality or the left liberty. On the contrary, except at their extremes, both values are important to both groups. However, when the two come into conflict, something has to give. When there is a conflict, the right will tend towards liberty, the left towards equality. The second thing to note is these are not right and wrong questions, but value and judgment. Both liberty and equality are important. In a perfect world, we want both. When there is a conflict between liberty and equality, it is not always easy to say with any certainty which should be more important. There is room for legitimate disagreement. As such, labels such as communist, fascist, and anarchist are almost always wrong. That someone wants a larger, more centralized government does not mean they want a totalitarian dictatorship. That someone wants a smaller, more limited government does not mean they want anarchy. Such labels detract from the real issues dividing people and only get in the way of discussions. They should be avoided. This view of the political spectrum is not perfect and does have problems. Still, it is more accurate than the current spectrum and would allow us to discuss our differences without resorting to demonization. Thank you for listening to Into the Desert, exploring the wilderness of thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe and put your comments below. Remember, be civil. We want to foster discussion and not division.